So hello ladies and gents, welcome back to another Black Ops 3 Zombies video on my channel. As always, I hope you're all having an amazing day. If you are, let me know how it's been in the comments section below. It'd be interesting to actually read some of your guys' comments. If you do enjoy the video, don't forget to drop me a like rating, that'd be much appreciated. If you don't feel like it, that's totally fine. Thank you so much for coming back, and let's get into it. So as we know, Moon is playing a big part within Black Ops 3 Zombies. Not because it's a map that's in the game, or at least not right now anyway, but we have so many references to Moon within this game that there is definitely something going on. This is too much for us to not notice this and not think that something is definitely going on. Whether it's a Moon remake, maybe we end up going to Moon into EISENDRACHE, we don't know, but something is definitely going on. Later on in the video, I will show you some older references to Moon that we've got within the game, but I want to get straight into the new ones first. So in the new EISENDRACHE trailer, we see a couple of references to Moon once again. They are both in the Group 935 laboratory, or the main research area, and they are very difficult to see, but that's why I'm here. I've got you guys. Do not worry, I will always have your backs. Together for it. No, okay, this is turning weird. Anyway, if you look on one of the monitors and we zoom in, we can actually see a bird's eye view of part of Moon. This area on the left is the same area that we can see on the monitor. This is extremely hard to notice, you have to admit. Comparing these two images, you can see everything matches up. We have the biodome, which is the big circular object with the hexagons on it. Outside of that, it seems we have the teleporter that took you down to Area 51. I may not remember everything that was on Moon. If I am wrong, you guys can correct me in the comment section below, but I'm pretty sure that was a teleporter that took you down to Area 51 right outside of the biodome. We can see this area is in a rectangular shape, the same as the one that is on the monitor. So everything seems to match up, although if you do zoom even closer into this monitor, I doubt you guys will be able to see it because YouTube will lower the resolution. I can barely see it, but there seems to be some text pointing to what I believe is the teleporter that took you down to Area 51. I believe it could say one of two things. To me, this looks like MDT. The MDT in Zombies is another word for the teleporter. MDT, I believe, stands for multiple distance teleporter within Zombies. We also had a teleporter in Reese. We had this teleporter in the Giant. We've had these teleporters in Richtofen. Every time we've seen a teleporter in Zombies, most of the time we can see it is the MDT. So it only makes sense, and since this is where the teleporter is located within Moon, that it does say MDT because this is an MDT teleporter. Some people could also say it says MPD. We know the MPD is a pyramid, but we know that it's actually based inside of the station, not outside of the biodome. So to me, it would only make more sense that it says MDT, showing and pointing that this is a teleporter. Now, before we go ahead and question and tell you guys as to why I think that Treyarch are pointing out the teleporter and actually showing us this image of Moon, I'm going to move on to this one. And can anyone else guess what we see? It is again the Moon's biodome. On this monitor up the top left, we have the biodome of the Moon. So we have two references so far to Moon within EISENDRACHE. Like I said, so much is happening within our storyline for Black Ops 3 Zombies right now for there to be not anything important going on with Moon. Something is definitely going on. We have so many Easter eggs towards it, and now the fact that we are showing Moon to us twice on these monitors into EISENDRACHE definitely means something. Now let me tell you what it means, or at least what I think. If we go back to that first image where it is pointing at the teleporter from the bird's eye view of Moon, it is pointing at the teleporter called the MDT. And what do we know is returning to EISENDRACHE? There is an MDT teleporter. Throughout the trailer that Treyarch released just the other day, they randomly showed us, just for one quick second, the picture of an MDT within EISENDRACHE. They didn't show any more that we maybe have to link up like in the Giant. They showed us just the singular one, and we have no idea of the location as to where it will take us. It seems very random for them to just put something in there if it wouldn't take us anywhere important, which I think it will. Do you guys know where I am going yet? Remember in Richtofen, the MDT from there took us up to the room where we can pack-a-punch. The MDTs in the Giant were used to open up the pack-a-punch. This picture that we have been shown from Moon into EISENDRACHE has the arrow pointing to the MDT teleporter that takes us down to the pack-a-punch in Area 51. So you may be thinking, oh, so what are you trying to tell us? That we are going to the Moon to pack-a-punch within EISENDRACHE? Well, yes. Now, not exactly the Moon. We know the pack-a-punch is based on Area 51, but also remember a quote from Dempsey in the Giant. He said, "I've seen this pack-a-punch machine before. I've seen it in Brazil, France, and on the Moon." We actually saw it in Area 51. Again, he is hinting to the pack-a-punch on the Moon. So basically, without rambling on, and don't worry, I have something else to show you, this MDT within EISENDRACHE is to take us over to the pack-a-punch on the Moon. As stated earlier, we actually saw the pack-a-punch in Area 51, so as to whether it will actually take us over to Area 51 or the Moon itself, I'm not sure, but I am thinking more towards the Moon. You may be questioning why the pack-a-punch is now on the Moon then, instead of Area 51. Well, it could have something to do with the interdimensional dimensional convergences that are happening within our storyline right now. We know universes are colliding, universes are getting destroyed. The Pack-a-Punch could easily bleed in from one universe to another, which could easily be a reason why it is on the moon. There could be 1,000 other reasons. Maybe it was built there first. Honestly, we don't know, but I think this is only an extra for us going to the moon. This isn't the main reason why we are going to the moon. Treyarch have been hinting for so long about Moon. A lot of people have been speculating a remake. There is definitely a lot going on with Moon. We just don't know. And I think in EISENDRACHE we are going up there to find something out, but on our way, on our travels up there, I also think we will get the chance to Pack-a-Punch. Remember, Treyarch said this map, EISENDRACHE, is only 50% bigger than the Giant, which is actually tiny. Think of EISENDRACHE, think of the Giant, think how small that map is, and just add half of the Giant onto that map already, which makes EISENDRACHE actually a very small map for us to play on. So it would make perfect sense for us to also be able to go up the moon, which obviously would make this map a whole lot bigger. They only said EISENDRACHE, that map itself is 50% bigger. They mentioned nothing about Moon, which for me would be a good reason as to why EISENDRACHE, the map, is so small, because we will get the chance to go up there. Also remember, our original characters are still stuck on the moon, or Treyarch didn't carry on from their storyline. When Richtofen took control of the zombies then had blue eyes. He switched bodies with Samantha in the MPD. Maxis then sent the 3 rockets to destroy the Earth. We never got a DLC or any information as to what happened to our original characters after that. I think this will be a good opportunity, if this does happen, for Treyarch to actually carry on from that storyline, give us some more information, and as stated, this is a conclusion to everything. That's what EISENDRACHE is, which will be a conclusion to what happened on the moon, because so far we actually don't know. Now, something else you could also use, although in my opinion it doesn't exactly go, but a new trailer has come out today. It gives us tiny bits of gameplay of EISENDRACHE, including what seems to be, or what possibly is, the Pack-a-Punch camo. If it is, I'm disappointed, right? It's lame. It's nothing cool like Origins, Mob of the Dead, or anything like that. But if you take a look at the Pack-a-Punch camo, there is a very small resemblance to the Moon Pack-a-Punch camo. Now, Moon seems to have all these straight lines and then circles at the end. That is its Pack-a-Punch camo. This one seems a tiny bit different. Some of the things that you see sticking up in 3D are actually attachments to the gun, so it is quite difficult to tell what the Pack-a-Punch camo truly looks like. But if this is it, you can see it does hold a small resemblance to the one on Moon. So what do you guys think? Are we going up to Moon to Pack-a-Punch? And also, what else are we going to do up there? It's possible that Treyarch were not hinting towards a Moon remake as such, but the fact that we will be going back to Moon within EISENDRACHE. Remember, we also have these rockets. There was a lot of theories going around that these rockets are being sent up to the moon to actually destroy the 3 that are already on the moon, so none of those events can take place. I also said that it's possible this rocket crashes to EISENDRACHE on the ground whilst it's taking off, which obviously means that plan can't take place, so then it's possible our characters need to go up there themselves to do this job, well, physically for themselves, and get rid of these rockets and make sure the events of Moon never happen. Because, as you could say, that was the most tragic thing that's happened within our storyline. I think it could be possible that these rockets were being sent up there to kill the original 4 characters that were on the moon. We know in order for Richtofen and Maxis' plan to succeed, all of these characters need to kill themselves. They need to make sure that they had never existed. And since their old selves do still exist on the moon, they would need to go up there to kill themselves. Dempsey mentions an awful lot about this being a suicide mission. I guess it's suicide, killing yourself that isn't really yourself, is it? I don't know. But that could be another possibility. We're going up there to kill our original selves that are still stuck on the moon. Something I want to quickly point out that was pointed out by Codename Pizza, an awesome YouTuber, is that if you take a look at the time on EISENDRACHE, the time is set to 12. Every other zombies maps, the clocks are usually set to 115 or another number, but EISENDRACHE is set specifically to 12. Everything that Treyarch do is done for a reason, and if we go back to Ascension, the clock on that was set to 11:59, which means the clock on EISENDRACHE is 1 minute ahead of the clock on Ascension. Again, this could mean a few things. That the events of Ascension take place 1 minute before EISENDRACHE, meaning, remember when we set the rocket off in Ascension, you have the option to either let it go and let it fly up into the air. I don't actually know where it's heading, or you can actually choose to shoot it down. Codename actually came up with a good theory that what if this rocket that we see in EISENDRACHE taking off is being set off to collide and take down the one that is setting off in Ascension, since they are basically taking off at the same time. Just to make sure you guys are okay, you may be saying that, no, this can't be happening. Ascension takes place on November 19th, or between October 11th and November 19th, 1963. we know, or from what we've seen in Der EISENDRACHE, it seemed to take place in 1945, around that time, around where the Nazis were or the Germans were, around where World War II was taking place. Well, that's not necessarily the case. Der EISENDRACHE is an empty Group 935 research facility. At the time when it was active and full of everyone working there from Group 935, all of the members, would have been around 1940s, maybe even before that, but we know now Der EISENDRACHE is not a live facility. It's not being used. For as far as we know, it could have been abandoned for 20 years, and we could be playing this map in 1963 around that time. What if the events that we see in Ascension to do with Gersh, we actually get hints at towards in Der EISENDRACHE? And one of the most awesome things for me is if you take a look at this poster, you can see our characters. Again, Dempsey is the main character, which is the same as the Der EISENDRACHE poster. Dempsey is again the main character, although in Ascension we never noticed it. Dempsey all along has been the most important character. He is the only one that can stop the zombie apocalypse. He is the only one who can set things straight. And like I just said, the same as the Der EISENDRACHE poster, the Ascension one has Dempsey as the main character. But take a look at Richtofen. Yes, this is Richtofen. It doesn't look like him because this character is bald. But what does Dempsey remind us of in The Giant? He pre-recorded a message to himself in The Giant from the past, and he told himself about the paradox visualization. He said not to touch the radioactive beacon because one of its side effects is to make your hair fall out. In Ascension, Richtofen has no hair, and we never ever got an explanation behind this. Now back in Ascension, some people would have said that this was Gersh or maybe someone else, and I have to agree, it would have made sense back then, but now since everything has come together, this can be Richtofen, and it would make perfect sense, and actually links up perfectly for Treyarch. For this to be Gersh, and then to just randomly throw him in on this poster and Richtofen actually not be there, doesn't make much sense. Gersh is just this random character that comes into the game. Never anyone, as far as we know, that is really too important. So for him to be on this poster with the other three characters and Richtofen to be missing is, you have to admit, strange. And it would only make sense that this is Richtofen, besides from him being bald. But back then, maybe they did intend it to be Gersh or someone else. But since we actually never got a true explanation as to who this is, it's actually still a mystery. Treyarch can point out that this is Richtofen. Now I doubt back in Ascension they would have planned all of this out. It just so happens that things have led up here and actually meet perfectly. Although because this is the Giant, it's carrying on from the storyline from Der EISENDRACHE. Maxis in the Giant we know is going to destroy, well, the Giant facility, the Der EISENDRACHE facility. To do that, we need to set down the beacon, which is one of the paradox visualizations. The beacon, as Dempsey says, if we touch it, the radioactiveness from it will actually make our hair fall out. And in Ascension, you can see Richtofen has no hair, which would show that he has touched some kind of radioactive beacon. Now, as far as I can remember, in Ascension, we don't set anything off like that. We don't need to activate any beacon. So why does Richtofen have no hair? Is it possible that he's travelled from the Giant or anywhere between Origins to Ascension? Ascension actually takes place in 1963, which is a very long time after the Giant. The Giant taking place in 1945. But we never truly got an objective within Ascension that really does anything to our storyline. It was to free Gersh, but in my opinion it was very random. We just started hearing about this Gersh character who was trapped, and our objective was to free him. Ascension to me has always been this mysterious map that's just been the odd one out. It doesn't really make too much sense, but the whole objective was to fix the Casimir mechanism and free Gersh. But it seems like Gersh may be trapped in Argotha with Samantha. Gersh is heard saying to the characters, "Hurry up, she is coming." And actually when you complete the Easter egg and Gersh is free, the screen will turn black and white and you hear Samantha scream, "Come find me." And actually Ascension isn't a place we were supposed to be set to. The Casimir mechanism is actually what overloaded the teleporters, which sent our characters over to the Ascension map. It wasn't a location that we're supposed to go to, but because the Casimir mechanism overloaded it, well, that's where we ended up. Also note, around Ascension we do have these monitors. These monitors show us the location of where the mystery box is. I believe, if I'm correct, this may be the only map that's ever done that, but in Der EISENDRACHE we also have monitors. We have this image of Moon, or in fact two images of Moon. As Codename said, and a lot of credit to him, this could work like Ascension. It could be showing us the location of the mystery box, but I think if it's working like that, then it will be more showing us the location of the Pack-a-Punch, but I don't exactly think that's what it is. As I've explained earlier, I think we will need to go to the Moon to Pack-a-Punch. We'll have to take the MPT, or the MDT, sorry, and up there we are going to discover and find a conclusion to everything. I do not want to leave anything out because I want to make this an awesome video, but I forgot to show you guys some of the Moon Easter eggs that we have seen before in Black Ops 3 Zombies. This one to me is the main one. Treyarch gave us this image. This is the Moon loading screen, but it seems to be happening opposite to what happened in our original Moon loading screen. If we compare the two, you can see on the new one that the astronauts are walking towards us, instead of away. You can also see there are less astronauts. There are 2 instead of 4. You can see that Griffin Station no longer exists on this new one that Treyarch gave us. And there is also the temple floating in the background. You can see there are a lot of changes. There has also been images of the wavegun blueprints found. There have been rumors of the wavegun Mark II. But as I said, the most interesting thing is the fact that Griffin Station doesn't exist on this new moon loading screen. As I stated earlier, our mission could be to destroy it. Also, you see less astronauts and you see them walking towards us instead of away from us. This to me may show that we have reversed time or reversed history. The events that took place on moon no longer happened. The astronauts are not going there. They are not walking towards Griffin Station because Griffin Station no longer exists. Into EISENDRACHE, we may have to destroy it or somehow get rid of it, or as I stated, stop the events of Moon. We also hear Samantha's Lullaby, which is the intro for the Moon song, within the music for the Giant. And on top of that, there are so many more Easter eggs, but I need to end this video. I've got to upload it for you guys, get it up, because I've got some other things to work on. You guys should be excited. Hopefully you have enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I put my heart and soul into these videos, so if you could drop me a like rating, that'd be so much appreciated. If not, let me know why you haven't in the comments section below. Any feedback from you guys would be awesome. Let me know your opinions in the comments. If you have any questions, be sure to ask me. If you haven't already and are interested, hit that subscribe button. It's totally free. But anyway, guys, thank you. I've been BlackOpsAmazing, and as always, I will see you in tomorrow's video, and I have got some very exciting things coming. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.